Stated in biology that life begins at
Pro-lifers often quote that life begins at conception when defending why they believe that abortion should be completely banned.
I did not make that argument. I was just clarifying the facts. The rest of your points in this video need some serious help, so I'll address each one.
They often cite the study that says 96% of biologists agree that life begins at conception.
I cited the embryology textbooks, but that study is also true.
When life begins on a biological level is actually a subjective question.
No, it's not. Determining when a new cell is formed is based on cell composition and cell behavior, and then a new organism by its undergoing of a self-directed process of maturation. This happens at conception. It's not subjective. If it was subjective, someone could say all sorts of things. Someone could say, life starts at 2 years old, or life starts at 25 when the brain is fully developed. And because it's subjective, that someone is correct. That's absurd.
The answer is to say fertilization, which is actually not conception. Conception is implantation.
Typically, that's false. For example, in the textbooks I cited, conception is not equated to implantation.
And 70% of zygotes fail to do this naturally and flush themselves out.
This is completely irrelevant. Hundreds of years ago, toddlers passed away at similar rates, but this did not change their right to life.
The abortion debate does not surround whether or not a life is present. It surrounds the fact that you cannot force one person and their autonomous body to supply resources at the risk to their own health to another being.
You're missing a lot of context. You're not just refusing your resources, you're directly using force against the fetus. For example, suppose someone sneaks on your boat, and they're a huge inconvenience. You don't have an obligation to feed them, but it certainly would be unproportional to throw them off the boat. Furthermore, in 99% of cases, it would be more like you put the person on the boat in the first place and then you threw them off. Do you think a mother has an obligation to breastfeed her child if no other options are available? The implication should be clear.
The women who get turned away from clinics end up having a baby. Does that study include whether they checked up on the children in 5 years?
No, it doesn't. But that's not relevant to the discussion. Many children have a life full of struggles, but they still have rights.
Of course they had the baby if they didn't have access to the abortion.
Thanks for admitting that. That was the point I was making, because the guy said pro-life laws do not work.
To you, the happy ending is just a birth, I guess.
I'm happy children are protected. Have a good day.